Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pose Season 2 preseason live stream.
Yes.
Yes, we are so excited. I am your guest co-host, MaryGirl Moody, and please welcome your second guest, incredible co-host, Michael Mullins-Wright.
What's up, everybody? Hello.
So we are here to talk about the best show of the year of everything. I mean, we even think we're getting some people converted now, Michael. Yesterday or the day before, I think it was Diana or Dawn who said that they like are opposed more than AHS. So
I think it was Diana. Yeah,
we're converting people out there. We're doing a great job with it. To commemorate and get excited for season 2, guys. Tonight, Michael and I are going to review season 1. Now, if you haven't had a chance to yet, there is a Pose season 1 review playlist here on my channel. You can watch that. You can also check out other YouTubers, not Google other YouTubers, but check out other YouTubers here on YouTube because there are other YouTubers who review it as well. So Michael and I literally have our notes.
Yeah.
So we are ready to talk about the show tonight with everybody. So, okay. Let's go on ahead and let's just kind of start with, like Michael and I said, we wanted to kind of just talk a little bit about the show before we dipped into the review of the first season. So Michael, for you, do you remember what moment that you watched the show during the first season that you were like, this show is it?
Absolutely. I even wrote it down. It still grabs me. It still makes me cry every single time. It's when during you want to know? It's during the pilot.
Yes.
When Pray Tell is standing out there talking to Blanca and I forget who's with her, but it's when why am I forgetting his name? What's his name? The little Puerto Rican kid. Little Poppy. When he came up and was asking Blanca for the first time that he didn't have anybody and could he do. Then Pray Tell says, I wrote this quote down. This is the show. This is why Ryan Murphy did this show. He says, you want a reason to keep going after tonight? There it go right there. Houses are homes to little boys and girls that never had one, and they keep coming every day. Just as sure as the sun rises, pull up. Work harder. Triumph. If not today, then maybe tomorrow. That is what this whole thing is about.
Absolutely.
It's about this community finding a family for many of them who didn't have a family. And when Ryan Murphy tapped into that, Ryan Murphy lived this just like the rest of us. So when he tapped into that right away within the pilot episode, I was like, he got it right. It just doesn't matter what happens from here on. He got it right because he knows what the show's about.
And I think we can definitely give major kudos to Stephen Cannell because he was the gentleman who actually wrote Pose. And from what I read, he wrote Pose about like 2 to 3 years ago, maybe about 2 years ago. And it was passed, around. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to go that route and take those fire topics on, and put them in front of people. And then finally FX and Ryan Murphy did, and Brad. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just really glad that happened, that it
absolutely
did find a home.
And with what they did with it, as far as the production value and hiring real transgender women to play real transgender women, there's no secrecy about who these actresses are or what they represent. Honesty. I mean, that's what this show has really, really presented itself. It's just pure honesty, and that's why I love it.
I want to say hello to Buffyville, Harrison Davis, Emily Force, Diana Fitzgerald, and Skinny Legend. Skinny is asking if Pose will be up tonight or tomorrow morning for FX Plus users. Well,
here we go again.
I'll tell you.
I don't want to play that game.
I'm honestly thinking, Michael, that it'll be up tonight at midnight. I mean,
I'll check. I'll be up. I'll check. I'll be up.
Okay, thank you. If you wouldn't mind letting me know, I'd appreciate it. I will probably be asleep, but I get up pretty early, so that way, I can get up with Blake and the kids and make them breakfast and start my day early because that's the only time I feel good. So, I will. And I'm hoping that it will be up in the morning so that way I can actually watch it and then go back and watch it again. Because sometimes I don't feel like the reviews are accurate because I've only seen the show once and it's just a first impression.
Yeah,
There's
so much to take in.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first rewatch of the whole series from start to finish affected me more than I watched it the first time. Powerful show.
Oh God, exactly. So let's go on ahead and let's get into actually reviewing it. Let's talk about the first episode, which was called it says episode 2. Hold on, I'm so sorry. I guess I went right past it for some American Horror Story stuff. That's Ash versus Evil Dead. I apologize. Do you have episode 1 over there with you, Michael?
I have my notes. I don't have the. I can check. Hold on. The title of it.
Season 1. Yeah.
Wait. Here, let me look on. I got the TV right in front of me. Look on Netflix.
I'm so sorry. I have my Ash versus Evil Dead reviews written in here. I feel weird. And sorry. I'm so sorry. Why don't I don't know where I put. Huh.
No, I don't know where it is.
It's okay. If I don't have it, then we can definitely still
right here. Yeah, I can read it.
Talk about it regardless. So Pose episode 1, the pilot one, was God, it was so good. I mean, in just the first few minutes, you're introduced to Blanca, who is getting her HIV test results back as positive. I mean, it's the first 5 minutes just trap you and just suck you in like a heroin addiction, you know?
Yep.
And then, of course, you get Damon, who is this young 16, 17-year-old young African-American child. I mean, I just want to express, he is a child. He comes, he's at home, he's dancing, and his father busts in on him, and he's like, what the hell is going on? The guys at the bar were telling me that they saw my son come out of the dance studio, and,
It's called Pilot. It's called Pilot.
Oh, it is just called Pilot. Okay, thank you. Maybe that's why maybe I missed it, because I see nope, that's Ash. So yeah, I can't believe I guess I must have accidentally pulled out the episode 1 notes, because I have episode 2 right here. So that's my idiocy. But his dad comes home and he's, like, well, Ricky, I told you I don't want you dancing. And he's like, well, Dad, and he just takes this big step forward, and he's the bravest kid I think I've ever seen, when he says, Dad, I'm gay and I'm a dancer. And his dad punches him. I mean, that was just too much, Michael. I mean, I don't know about you.
Real.
Yeah. When that happened, and even still, when I go back and watch the show, just even in a rerun, I will still cry at that scene, because of Ricky's dad kicking him out. And then his mother going out there and basically blaming Ricky because he was the one who wanted to be gay, like it was his choice. And then God's going to give him that gay cancer, that gay disease. And it's like, oh, I mean, it was just like, it slaps you really fucking hard in the face that these were actual real parents a couple of years ago, though. These are people who are still treating their kids like this now. This is still something that people weren't just doing in the 80s, that they're still doing now. And it really does just hit you hard. It hits you so hard. And especially when you don't expect it to be hitting you hard. This show punches you in the fucking face.
Yep, sure does.
And I mean, we also had an opening with Electra. Oh, Cookie's here to say hi. And her House of Abundance, and how it's a royal ball that day. And so they go to the museum, and then they steal this ballware to wear. And then, they're in the ball, and the police show up to arrest Electra. And she's like, uh-oh, well, she puts her hands together, and she's like, arrest me. I'm good. Hi, baby. I kissed you, but red lipstick all over you. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean, just the first few minutes of the show.
That's before the credits.
I mean, it just, when a show does that to you, it takes it so further. And there was even a quote. I was putting the quotes when I was rewatching Pose. Like the 2nd or 3rd week of May, I put some quotes up on my Twitter, and one of my favorite from the pilot was came from Angel Evangelista, which she was. This is before she became Angel Evangelista. This is after like the first few minutes of the show, and Blanca left. So that way she could start her own house, and Angel did it all, and they were talking afterwards. And Angel was talking about things that she deserves. And she says that, and quote, "I'm deserve more. I'm worthy of better." And I just thought that was the best quote. And this would be so much of a better place if everybody really thought that way as well, you know, had that kind of confidence. I just absolutely loved that opening with Angel. I mean, and I gotta say, if I have to pick a favorite character, Angel probably has to be my favorite. What about you, Michael? Who's your favorite?
It's strange. Throughout the different episodes, I feel differently about different people. But I'd have to say, when is it all said and done, and the story has unfolded the way it was going to, I'd have to say Blanca is my favorite character, because what she got at the end, that satisfaction that she got in the finale, that moment makes me cry every single time. It's like she became that parent, she became that mother, more so than, you know, just a house mother and everything. She deserved that. It was gorgeous, incredible moment.
Everybody show a lot of love to Diana Fitzgerald into the chats. I just tossed her a wrench for moderator status. Woo! Snaps to you, you are awesome. What's up, Don Ford? Great to have you. And Debbie, the Debbie. Michelson's edit is so great to have you here. Hey, Jalen. Jalen says, "OMG, I'm binge watching Pose, and it's so good." Yeah, it's new season 2 starts tomorrow, and we'll be here doing a live after show. So come join us tomorrow too, guys.
Yes.
So guys, let us know too in the comments, who was your favorite character? Just type favorite character and the name after that. So, and I have to say too, a lot of the times that Elektra has to be Elektra, Blanca, and Pray Tell are like some of my really.
Pray Tell, there's Billy Porter. I mean, come on, but what's her face is so incredibly well written, because she's presented in the very, very beginning as just this cartoon character, this larger than life, and she's this mother, and she's, you know, doing all this stuff. And then when she has that turn in episode 6, she has the big turn where her, you know, her man leaves her or kicks her out because of the surgery, and all of a sudden she that wall comes down, and she becomes real. And then you realize it wasn't the actress and it wasn't the writing, that was written that way very, very specifically. So that when that wall came down, you saw the person on the show. I was like, this show is brilliant. This show is absolutely written brilliantly.
And when you talk about Elektra and her change, oh my God, I rooted for her so much because she wanted it for herself.
Yeah.
And when she looked at herself in the mirror and she didn't like the one thing about her, you know, that she wanted gone, my heart just broke for her. And I just really sympathized with her, you know, at that time, you know, still do. But she is a wonderful character arc. Elektra's arc in season 1 has to be the best out of all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest journey that someone had. I mean, Blanca has the most linear journey to where she's going, whereas Elektra has the most polarizing journey. But Elektra could be very off-putting, you know, in the beginning, like, it's really not realistic. But in fact, a lot of those queens and still today, you know, that host balls and do shows and are big larger than life characters, really present themselves that way, you know, in public. But there's a true person under there. There's not, you know, that doesn't have to be the cartoon character. She's amazing.
Well, and Blanca, how she found Ricky in the park, and you know that he was this child sleeping on a park bench in Central Park. I mean, every time I saw Ricky, my heart just broke. And then when Blanca meets him and she's like, "Hey, you want to dance for a house?" And he's like, "What does that mean?" And so she kind of explains it to him, and he's like, "Yeah." And I thought, oh my God, that is the best thing. That's what I would have done. I mean, come on, see a teenage kid sleeping on a park bench in Central Park. You're going to want to like help the person. So I was just, I really associated with Blanca very early on in the show, very quickly. And I do agree with you on her linear progression. It's just her and Elektra definitely, and Pray Tell. Oh my God, they got some of the best character story arcs in the entire season. I mean, Angel, for me, I loved her character. and just who she is as a person, her story of the red shoes and Christmas time. Just, oh God, that got to me. We'll talk about that, obviously.
Oh God. Yeah, Angel's character arc is the most frustrating.
Absolutely. And when Blanca takes Ricky in and then she tells, she gets him into school. I mean, when I saw Ricky's performing his I said Damon before. Ricky is his boyfriend and Damon is
correct.
Okay.
Correct. Ricky,
okay.
Yeah, Ricky's the boyfriend, Damon's the lead. The main
Damon, thank you. I accidentally put Ricky on there, I think, when I was tweeting before. But Damon's solo after Blanca gets him into the ballet school was just incredible. And
his audition solo?
Yeah, his audition solo.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was definitely good. I know we were talking about how his acting, the actual actor, hopefully he had, kind of improved a little bit. Mm-hmm. But that guy, I mean, I see why they picked him. I mean, he's a great dancer.
Yeah. Well, what I wish for him as an actor is that he would just let go and just present himself, because when there's a lot of moments with him when he's very real and he's just, you can tell that there's something that he's connecting with, to his own life, through the dancing, like especially when he's with the teacher in those scenes, that is his best performance type stuff, because I think there's a connection there. But yeah, hopefully he gets better.
Well, we do also meet the rest of the House of Abundance. We have Miss Candy and we have Miss Lulu. Now, there are a couple of other people in the House of Abundance. However, Miss Candy and Miss Lulu are the top two people that you really want to remember out of everything. And I have to say that Lulu and Blanca's friendship, I did like as well. They had a pretty good friendship arc, and Lulu did win one-liner of the award for the episode where she says to Blanca, "This better be worth it because I'm missing 227 to come meet yo ass." And we all know, all of us who were alive in the 80s, we watched
227.
Yeah.
Jackie
and some Mary Jenkins. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. My problem with those two, with Lulu and Candy, were they never had any depth to them. They were just like the Flotsam and Jetsam, the Tweedledee and Tweedledum of the things. Like, I hope that if they're back, I hope they give them a little bit of meat, so something to do. Especially Candy, because Candy, there's something dark in her.
Exactly. When she got all that plastic surgery in her body, the things that she did to herself, in order to fit the look for the ball. Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely believe that there are things that she would definitely be willing to do in order to reach the top. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
I do want to say that there was also a great quote from the pilot season, and it's from our favorite guy, Pray Tell. Pray Tell tells somebody when they're walking the ball, "Please remove yourself from the premises and do not return until you're in some goddamn stilts. Because, as we all know, 6 inches is the minimum." Which we all know. Absolutely. He is so truthful. So yeah, the pilot was just so great, where you got to meet everybody and you got to see Blanca really pull her house together, how she recruited Angel and Damon. And Ricky, of course, I'm sorry, he doesn't come until episode 2, but how she pulled things together, rented her house, and just actually went for her dream, despite the fact that she was told at the beginning of the episode that she's HIV positive, which back then, 1986 was a death sentence. I mean, let's just be
sure was
real about it.
There's a moment with Angel and Blanca when Blanca finally tells Angel, and Angel's reaction was the realest thing that I have lived through and I have experienced many times. Because back in the 80s, when your friends, and I have had many, when your friends or loved ones come up and tell you in confidence that they were HIV positive or they have AIDS, it's about the receiver's response, because basically they're telling you, "I'm going to die. How do you feel about that?" And that's how we handled it. That's it. Yeah. And the way Angel acted that scene, with the way it was written, the way she carried it out, was absolute real. That was exactly how it happened in the 80s.
I want to say thank you so much to Andrew Venom, who left a $1 super chat for us. Thank you so much, Andrew. You guys are incredible. If you would like to help donate to the channel, you can certainly do super chats or donate via Patreon. Or if if you don't, or if you are broke like myself and Michael,
Yeah.
just kindness is for free. Just leave a like, and that's worth $1 million to us. So thank you all so much. What's up, Craig Cass? Hey, KK London. Andrew, again, you are incredible. Thank you so much. Andrew says, been watching you with AHS and now Pose. Love your video so very much. Thank you, Andrew. Come join me and Michael tomorrow night. We are definitely going to be doing the Pose after show tomorrow.
Wait.
And Michael is going to be our like test subject, so to speak. He says he's going to stay up till midnight for us and to see if Pose is uploaded tonight at midnight or 1 a.m. On the Pose FX, or excuse me, on the FX Plus app. So
yes.
So yeah, we are so excited. We'll be back out obviously tomorrow, but we can let's continue going into episode 2. This episode was titled Access, and it was written by Ryan, Brad, and Steven, and it was directed by Ryan. And this episode was really great because you get an opening with Blanca just slaughtering Elektra in the ball that night when it opens. And this is when Damon and Ricky are introduced to each other. Ricky just starts hitting on Damon after a ball, after he walks one. And so they kind of just start talking. And Blanca is like, I thought the best mother. She's like, wear a condom, you know, be home at 2 a.m., you know, be safe. She's like doing the mom thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what she wanted so bad.
And guys, if you do not have FX Plus anymore, they still do have the opportunity of doing a free trial. So if you have an email account that you use, but you didn't use when you signed up for your free trial of FX Plus, you can still get a free trial. So I do still have I can just reactivate mine, which I already have. So it's no big deal, but they do still do free trials for anybody out there. So all you have to do is that if you did not sign up for FX Plus last year, or if you have a secondary email account, you can sign up with that and get your free trial for FX Plus for Post. So there you go. But I gotta say, our Damon is just so innocent. We find out that he's never been kissed. He's never held hands. I mean, he's never even left the home plate, so to speak, if we're talking in baseball terms.
Yep.
You know, just this innocent child. And it's really good thing that Blanca is the one who actually has a talk with him about sex, condoms, AIDS, how to be safe, how to protect yourself mentally and physically. And I just thought that was a really good detail that they put in for those two to have a mother-son relationship, because you're going to see that relationship go through an up and down through the season. And
it's because they both needed it from each other. That was the only way that they could complete it themselves. You know, Damon was reaching out so hard, you know, with what he just experienced, and Blanca opened her arms to him, and Blanca needed it to feel.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael.
I said Blanca needed it to feel human, to feel some sort of power, some sort of worth, self-worth.
Absolutely, and he is worth everything. Those parents who kicked him out, they were worth nothing. I gotta say. But Blanca is a wonderful mother, and I think that was a really great scene. To demonstrate how she's really doing a great job impacting these kids' lives. And this may only be like an 8-episode season, but of how they wrote it, it was just such a nice, slow turn to see how Damon and Blanca's relationship first started as just like a, what? Yeah, you know, kind of a thing, like just starting to trust each other and understand each other, and just kind of how it came full force into like Mother of the Year. So.
Yeah. Oh, that moment. We're pretty telling. Oh, okay, we'll get there.
We love you, Miss Kinky Kitty. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Damon got obviously into the writing school in this, or the writing school, sorry, the school in this episode. And it was really fantastic to see how she has, you know, changed his life from he's this kid kicked out of the house at 16 to now he's going to dance school. So this is also where we see Stan's life. Now, I do apologize. We forgot to kind of talk about Stan. And I have a feeling I know we're going to talk about this Evan Peters character for a while, but this is a young man who's not rich, but he does have money. You know, he works for Trump. So he's driving around, picks up Angel, and he kind of like gets enamored with her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like he becomes obsessed with her. In my opinion, Michael, I mean, do you think that that's right to assume?
He's typical closeted businessman of the 80s who wants to act on their desires but don't know how with their own society. It's real selfish behavior, and it was very common for men in the 70s and 80s because they didn't know, society wasn't accepting any of this. We've come a long way in 25 years, but back then it's like, we were still in that. You're the provider of the family, you have a family, you have children, you do whatever. And he's starting to get a little bit successful, starting to get bigger opportunities with Trump and whatnot. And so he starts slowly acting on his impulses. And then once he got a little taste, then it was all about him. It was all about his selfishness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Stan really did get selfish here. He finds Angel. She's working in a peep show, and he basically rescues her. I honestly thought that maybe he was falling in love with her. He offered to be, like her sugar daddy. And she asked him a really great question in this episode too. She asked him, why? Is he gay? Does he have secrets? Or, what? She kind of just wanted to know why. And Stan says that he's not gay, but does what he's expected to do. And I always kind of thought that was confusing until you just kind of explained it, Michael, because see, I never kind of understood that kind of thing. I mean, I guess nowadays, since we're all, you like what you like, it was kind of, I never understood what it was like to kind of hide something like that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's the hardest. People don't understand. I forget where the quote came from. I think it was RuPaul. It may have been or somebody else, but somebody said, when somebody has spoken from the heart and really came out, because they will always cry, because it's that it is that to come out of the closet is redefining yourself. It is absolutely, waiting for the world to crumble around you, because through your entire childhood, your entire teenagers, you've built this around your entire head that the world is going to fall as soon as you open your mouth and you say the words. And it seems so tragic in your own mind. And then when you do it, it's like the biggest relief. It's like the wind gets sucked out of you. And when who was it? Because it was around the Stan episode that somebody said that Evan Peters did that beautifully, because when he said, I think it was his wife, when she said, are you gay? Well, she was like talking to him. They're confronting each other, and he starts bawling. He starts sobbing. He says, I don't know. That was so truthful. That was so, but all of that emotion was coming out, all that raw hurt, because that's what it feels like, to be a normal person, basically, in society. You can hold jobs, you can do whatever, but to carry around a secret, it really is a dark secret, just like festering in you for 17, 18, 20, 25 years. Some of these guys 30, 40 years. And then to have that, it's just like a balloon popping, to have that all released.
Absolutely.
Everybody should do it. If they're gay, everybody should come out.
Murder Motel, it's great to have you. Thank you so much for being here in the chat, especially. Well, it is a great scene though, where Stan just tries to explain to Angel, having somebody who's real, that he can be real around. So that brings what Michael just said into full circle. Yep. Absolutely. Now, little Poppy in this episode 2 is dealing drugs and lying to his mother about it. And Ricky, also, we find out, is homeless, which this will play a key role, because soon he will move into the house with them. Blanca will accept him. Now, Elektra does go to see Blanca at her job during the day. Blanca is a nail tech. And it was just really cute to see that Elektra wants Blanca back at the balls, not because, she cared about her, but because
she needed the competition.
Yes, she wanted her back as competition to beat her in the balls. That's it. So, and she's like, look, I know you're trying to make strides for us, the transgender community and the gays, but look, this is when the gay bar kept kicking her out. And
that is so important. That is the gay bar and treating her the way they treated her. I was so happy when I found that the writers had included something like that. Because what they're telling you is drag queens, the level of hierarchy, or the level of social acceptance back then in the 70s and 80s, was the transgender women were at the bottom of the rung.
Oh yeah.
They were not accepted by their own communities. They were not accepted by the regular communities. They were not accepted by the drag queen communities. I mean, they were bottom of the rung. So for them to include that in the show, to show you that every single moment of their life, even within their safe zones, is a huge struggle for them. It was incredible. It was powerful.
And the fact that people can just come out now and transgender if they want to. I mean,
Yeah.
that in itself is so incredibly powerful.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the hospital one time, one of the x-ray techs was a gentleman that had transitioned into a man. And I just, I just thought that's just the most bravest. I mean, just that's so damn brave just to be who you are when you want to be it and just not give a fuck who else has to say negative things about it. I think people like that are incredibly brave and beautiful souls.
It's like, I don't understand a lot of things about a lot of people's lives, but if it doesn't affect my life, you do you be the best you that you can be. I mean, I don't understand the psyche of transgenderism to want to go that far into do that to your body, but it's something. It's real. Some of these people feel that there's real, true, deep things that go through these people's minds and souls and emotions to go that far to feel normal. And it's powerful. They're a powerful community.
Exactly. Extraordinarily powerful. Oh, good Lord. I do have to say that Stan's boss, I affectionately call him Vanderblow because James Vanderbeek plays the role of Stan's boss. And I think at the beginning of when he's introduced in the episode, he just pulls out some blow and just starts doing it right then and there. So I was like,
it's Dawson. Dawson doing the coke.
Yeah, what was up with that? So when we talk about Vanderblow, that's what we're going to be talking about. But Stan wants to fund, Angel. He wants to give her an apartment and give her a place to live and food to eat and stuff. So he goes to his boss and gets the raise to keep her kept. And he does admit to his boss that he's doing it because he has a mistress. So let's see. It's rematch time. Let's see. Elektra did not come to play. She came to slay. And that's what I put on here. It was rematch time and Elektra came to fucking slay. So I assume she won at the end of episode 2.
Yes, she did. But
so
she was still on top.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, Elektra was still on top. This is still a larger than life cartoon Elektra that her entire life focuses around that trophy or that being the head of the house.
Yes. And the chilliest production, that's Murder Motel, says, I came out as gay in 2014, Mary. I did it on social media with a Facebook post. It was easy, hurt my family doing it. It wasn't easy, hurt my family doing it, but I'm not sorry for how I did it. It felt amazing.
Never be.
So, exactly. Never feel that way. I never feel
sorry.
Absolutely. And they said I was comfortable posting it on Facebook, then sitting at the table in front of them. I just couldn't do it I just couldn't do it ever. So social media, I did it there because it was easier for me. So we did it easier. Yes. You know what? Sometimes you just put shit out there. Yeah. And if it just works for you. Oh, yeah.
When I came out, when I was 18, I wrote a letter. I did it I'm kind of like 80 school. Social media. I wrote a letter, and I left a letter for whomever my family was going to read it, and they did, and it went from there.
Wow. How was it? I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. If you don't mind me asking, Michael, how were you received?
Oh, I wasn't. I wasn't kicked out like Ricky was. But see, my house, homosexuality was just. It wasn't a thing. It just wasn't reality. It was something that you saw in the movies. It was something that is to be teased or to be made fun of. And my father was a incredible military man, strict, abusive, just mentally. The whole 9 yards. But he was set in his ways. You could not change the way he ever thought about anything. And here we are, 30 years later, and I still think he thinks the exact same way he did the day I came out. God. And he'll never change.
Yeah.
And basically, what happened in my story was it was never spoke of. It happened. We had one conversation about it. They went on with their lives as if nothing had changed, and it just became their secret and not mine anymore.
Damn. Mm-hmm. Well, at least it wasn't yours anymore. And if that's something they want to try to hide, it's their loss.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm content with myself. And have been for generations. They can live with whatever they live with.
Kenny, it is so great to have you. Kenny, I also tossed you a wrench, my darling, because Kenny is another person that I love so much who is so brave and confident and just kicks ass. So, Kenny, you are my everything. I love you, and I'm so glad that you're here with us tonight. So, in episode 3 of Pose, guys, it is Christmas time. The episode is called Giving and Receiving. And this is the part where I just can't help it, guys. I cry every time. I'm so sorry. I promise you I'm going to try to get through this. Angel, Little Poppy, Damon, Ricky, and Blanca, they're all at the beginning of the episode talking about Christmas. Angel, or Blanca's saying, hey, guys, let me know what you want for Christmas. And Angel says, I don't want anything else. Celebrate Christmas. And she says the reason why. She says that when she was a little boy, a little child, her dad took her to a department store and she saw these beautiful red leather pumps. And she just wanted it so badly that she stole, I guess, either one shoe or the pair. And when I'm sorry, sweetie?
Is one shoe, I think.
Okay, thank you. And then when she got home, and she said, I'm sorry, she was 6 years old. And when she got home, the shoe dropped out of her jacket. And so she got caught. And her dad slapped her across the face. And not for the fact that she stole, but for the fact that she was a 6-year-old little boy that took a red leather pump. And one of the quotes that I put on my Twitter was what Angel said. She said, quote, I mean, what kind of little boy cries over a patent leather red pump, right? Kind of like, saying that was, her dad slapped her because of that. So, what kind of little boy cries over a patent, so that's the context that she was saying it. But that was just, God, that was so hard to hear. I mean, just she's, 6. I have a 6-year-old. All of my kids at one point have been 6. And that's just so small when you're forming just your own mind. I mean, that part was just
every child. See that, especially back then, back in the 80s, or even God, I can imagine how worse it was back in the 50s. But in the 80s, it was still the same. It's like boys didn't play with Barbies and girls didn't play with cars, and boys couldn't wear pink.
Yes.
And and it was like those very, very strict standards that would put sexuality into it. Sissy boys and everything. And it's like, why are you doing that to a 6-year-old child? There's nothing sexual about a 6-year-old child whatsoever.
Exactly.
They're forming their own independence.
Exactly. Oh, preach it, Michael. Preach it. So also, guys, in this episode, this is when Damon convinces Blanca that Ricky should join their house. He walks and she says, okay, you can join our house on a trial run, which, works out pretty well. But pray tell, Damon's ballet teacher, Helena, they both get together in the same elevator, and they don't know each other at this point yet. But when they get off the elevator, they go to the same ward to visit 2 separate people in the AIDS ward of that hospital. And I just thought how poignant it was that they both got on the elevator, and in the same universe, they're connected through Blanca, and they went to go see 2 people that were sick, and it was just hard to take. Helena was going to visit a former student of hers, and pray tell was going
who
to
had nobody.
And yes, the student had no family, nobody.
None. Nope.
And that's another thing too about how you were talking about, Michael, about how these people who are sick, dying, or they're gay, they're transgender, they're lesbian, they're questioned, where it doesn't matter. They had been tossed out by their family. They had nobody except this new family. They're not blood. It's bound by sweat and hardships and tears. And I just love how the show highlighted it. I mean, it's just so damn fucking heartbreaking. And I know we're going to be getting there this season because they gave us the season 2 trailer, the actual full season 2 trailer, and we'll watch that here in just a little bit. So
sweet. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking worried about Blanca. She better make it through season 2. I'm really upset. Oh my gosh, she better make it. That's all I have to say. This is also where Stan gets Angel her apartment, and I gotta say that is a nice ass fucking little apartment. It's like a little pastel and pink and everything.
For New York City?
Really?
Wasn't it in Manhattan?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, damn.
It was really expensive.
Shoot, I put out
And
too.
in this episode, guys, this is when we first see that Elektra is thinking about gender reassignment. And she needs some money for her house for Christmas, and they steal it from a fucking Salvation Army Santa. I
New
just,
York.
yes, and
New
Elektra,
York.
just the things that she does is just so awesome. And I have to say that one of my favorite quotes from in this episode too was when Elektra says, "Dr. Harris helped me find Elektra," because obviously Elektra wasn't her real name, but the doctor that's working, that's the pioneer in gender reassignment, is the one who helped him find her. You know, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter any of that crap, but it's just what Elektra was saying, and I thought that was just so brilliant and beautiful. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, yeah, absolutely just love that. And this is where also we get a little thing of in between Blanca and Damon. They get into their first fight. Damon shows up late at school and he's really starting to slack. Helena tells Blanca about this because she knows that Blanca's going to lay shit down.
Mm-hmm.
So Damon, she tells Damon that he's grounded from the snowball, which is coming up, which is the big Christmas snowball. And he says,
"You know what Christmas means to me?"
Yeah, he's like, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna go no matter what you say." And I'm like,
Snap.
I'm just gonna move over so I don't get hit by the blood.
Well, this fight becomes important for Blanca and Helena's relationship. That is a great moment after this fight when Helena gives her reassurance that what she did was right.
Right.
And
Yes.
what she was justified.
Her instincts as a mother are
Mhm.
right. Yes, exactly. Because Blanca has doubted herself in these first 3 episodes of what she's doing. Yes, and how she's taking care of this family that she's created. And man, she put his ass in his place.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like a real mother there. And I gotta say, that was just a really great scene between the two of them. And eventually, though, things obviously, you know, they're good again. But Damon and Ricky's relationship goes to the next level. And I mean, it was just, yeah. It was
They have
just
sex in the garage, parking garage.
And also, this is also the episode where Patty's mom is the actress who played Annalise, I think, from American Horror Story, one of the former Supremes. So I really liked that they added a former Supreme into Pose. That was really great.
Ryan Murphy universe.
Absolutely.
Sandra Bernhard is in Pose too.
That's right. Oh my God, I loved her in Pose more than I did Apocalypse. So
yeah. Well, that's how that's how she got in Apocalypse, because she'd already done Pose, you know.
Right. Well, this is also the episode where Patty confronts Stan about his affair, and he denies it. And this is where Patty first accepts things. She's like, okay, he's not having an affair. But very soon, guys, she's not going to accept that anymore, and she's going to see the truth. And at Angel's place, it was really cute how she went all Betty Crocker for Stan, who never even showed up. So, you know, Angel goes home to her family, you know, Blanca and the rest of them. And it was really sweet. Blanca hands out presents to everybody. And that's when she gives Angel those killer pair of red patent leather shoes. And I mean, I gotta say, that was like a gold heart to the writers for me, because I was fucking bawling at that scene when I first saw it in the first time. I still do. I mean, that has just got to be one of the best scenes to me, other than Mother of the Year.
It's Mother of the Year, God. But it's so defining for Blanca, because it shows that she's built her entire relationship around listening to these people. She's listening to them. She's understanding them. She's digging deep to their individual needs, and she's trying to meet those needs. And it's powerful. It is powerful when it works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. And I have to say, okay, so episode 4 was called The Fever. Oh, God.
Oh,
now,
God.
this was written by the incredible Janet Mock. I totally believe she deserves a big round of applause as well. And this episode was directed by Gwyneth Horder Payton, who has directed many episodes of American Horror Story, if anybody recognizes that name. Now, this episode wasn't very long, or it was, but it kind of focused a little bit more on Miss Candy a little bit. Candy fails at the ball and threatens Electra's run for Mother of the Year. And with, I think she got like 6s. So, Pray Tell says that was like the mark of the beast. I thought that was just so great. I even noted it here, like, is this a crossover? So, and I guess it was, yeah. So Angel goes out to talk to Candy after she had just been demolished at the ball. And they kind of get their friendship back together. And Angel takes Candy to go get some silicone implants, which were too expensive. So she goes to like a hack job.
Yeah, the backyard.
Yeah. And she gets really, really sick from it during the ball and even faints. And it's just, oh my God, it's just so crazy. And this is also the episode where Damon gets really sick. He is back and he's working harder than ever at school to be in the spring show. And he gets sick with the flu. And this is when Angel tells him, look, Blanca's really worried about you because she thinks you might have HIV, that you might have to be sick because of that it's the beginning symptoms. But he does get better. And that encourages Pray Tell to tell everybody, look, we should all go get tested. Yep. Why is this something that we just would never know about? We should know. We should be educated men and we should go and get tested. So this is when everybody goes and gets tested for HIV. Little Poppy, Pray Tell, Ricky, Damon. And I think it's just those 4, right?
4. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, we don't get the results, but the show ends with the family watching Damon perform in his spring show. And we also get the snowball in this episode. Guys, the snowball, the cinematography, the makeup, the costumes, the actors, the writing. I mean, it was just all the very definition of perfection. Yeah. Wouldn't you say, Michael?
Yes, it was the balls. Yeah.
Before I die, Michael, we have to go to a ball, you and me. Yeah. I don't need I just need to see that kind of beauty for myself, you know? I would love to be there. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
They don't do them like that anymore, unfortunately, but they're more pageanty now. But
are they? Okay, so that basically takes care of episode 4. Oh, wait. Nope. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that we get to meet Electra's sugar daddy. He does not want her to have the gender reassignment surgery. And that, she's 40 years old and she wants to, make something of herself. And Electra and Candy kind of find their relationship again after Candy gets really sick and, faints at the ball and stuff like that. So absolutely. And I mean, I have to say, also, this is where Aphrodite tells Electra that she has had the surgery and it did hurt, but she was so happy. And it was just, this was the episode where it was the painful moment that we had to see Electra have to tape herself, have to, tape her private area because she's so unhappy with actually having a penis. I mean, that hurt. Because I could never imagine looking at myself and being unhappy with,
or not feeling human, not feeling right, something wrong.
Not feeling it right. Exactly. And as a woman who's always felt that it's natural to be a woman, I've never had to experience that. And seeing Electra go through that was just so fucking painful. I just could never imagine that those kind of feelings existed. And I just love how the show humanized everyone.
Well, yeah. See, we were talking about transgenderism and how they were the bottom of the rung. Is because all of us, unless you're there, can't understand. I mean, even gay people or drag queens or all that. We're the same shoes as you. I'm fine with being a man. It's the most normal thing to me. So I don't understand, but that doesn't make their feelings, any less justified with the reality of what's really going on.
Absolutely. I mean, 100%. And I have to say that Aphrodite Ferocity had she is Aphrodite Ferocity now. She wasn't back then. But when she said this, she said, quote, "How lucky are we? We create ourselves." Yes. She said that to Electra when they were having that conversation about getting the gender reassignment. And I thought, she's so right. You actually get to create yourself. I mean, that's just It's like, that's just so powerful. That statement was incredible. And this was also the episode where Elektra said, some mothers raise their children with the soft touch of a velvet glove. I prefer being the mother that slaps them with it. Oh my God. I absolutely fell in love with Elektra.
Well, see, and that quote
in episode 4.
Yeah, that quote is like a just a one-liner of how those two characters' relationships are polar opposite. Because like Blanca's entire reason to be a mother is for the children. Hold on, and Elektra her entire thing is for to be just popular and to win crowns and all that stuff. So it's
they
very
have
polarizing.
Different perspectives of what it is to be a mother. Yes,
exactly. But she nipped it all in one quote.
She did. And I apologize, guys. We actually do get the results of everybody's test. So suddenly, I apologize. It wrote it kind of out of nowhere because we have some problems with Angel and Stan this episode where you can just kind of see that things are just kind of wearing off and they're kind of seeing they're kind of seeing their relationship, but they don't know what it is. Stan doesn't know who he is or what he wants to be, and Angel just wants to be herself with somebody who is their self as well, if that makes sense. Let's see. So suddenly we're getting the results. Everybody is negative except Pray Tell. And Pray Tell was I thought it was a great dad moment because if Blanca is our mother, then Pray Tell has to be the father. But he does a really great job in fathering the boys, and he tells them that, no, he's negative, and, he doesn't want to ruin their excitement and their happiness from all of them being negative. And when Pray Tell tells Blanca the truth, it just made me break down because we're only in episode 4 and we're caring about these people like Blanca really is real life. I mean, I know she is obviously taken from a person in real life. So in some way, these people exist. But you really start thinking about them as if Pray Tell exactly exists and Blanca exactly exists. And, they're all specific people with names and all that. So it was just...
Yeah, 4 hours in. 4 hours in, you feel like you know these people.
Oh, yes. So you can just tell how good the writing is on this. So episode 5 is Mother's Day, and it begins in 1982. So we're getting a little bit of a throwback. The ball is for first timers, and it's Blanca's first time. We see her first walk, and she was like this cute little innocent girl and this cute little bow in her hair and this little pink dress, and she looked like a little virgin. It was so cute, I gotta say. But she took her low scores in stride, and she didn't let it get to her. And that's when her and Elektra meet, and they go to the cafe for bad bitches. But before that, I gotta say, Elektra won the one-liner award in episode 5 when these girls are hassling Blanca, and Elektra comes up to, on Blanca's behalf and tells the girls, "What's that on your lip, Lisa?" "Oh, it's just your favorite lip gloss. Sperm." Oh my God. The writers on this show are just incredible. So it was
her delivery.
Yes. Dominique Jackson is an incredible actress. Her delivery.
Well, when she does Elektra, not human Elektra, but Elektra, she does it like in a cadence. And at first you're like, huh? But then it becomes like a regular thing trained to your ear, and it's brilliant. Every single episode.
Exactly. Every single episode. Now we're back to the present after we get up on how they meet and Elektra takes Blanca as her daughter. So we are in the springtime. Angel tells everybody that she is moving back in with her family because she's trying to force Stan to give her a commitment, which it doesn't work. By the end of the episode, Stan literally packs up everything and dips out of the apartment and deserts Angel. It is
sad.
Fucking sad. Yeah. It's a bad heartbreak for Angel.
Selfish.
It was hugely selfish of Stan's part. And I feel really bad for Angel too because of that heartbreak. She didn't deserve that. She gave her heart and her soul to stand, you know? And
So many men of this still do. So many men fuck with gay people or transgender people this way because we're reaching out to somebody to accept us, somebody to love us, somebody to, and then you fall for somebody just like everybody falls for people and whatnot. And that man is only playing you for a sexual fetish. But I can watch March, I can watch Kyle, I can watch Kai, and I'm all fine with every piece. I hate Stan. I can't stand that character. It's
I mean,
the
I
hardest
can
character for me to
appreciate his
watch.
confusion, but yeah, I hate what he does to Angel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's trying to figure out who he is, and that's fine, but you can't play with somebody else's emotions to
Yep.
figure out who you are.
Yep.
That's just wrong. Absolutely. And I do want to say one more thing really quickly. There was one thing that Pray Tell said in episode 4 that I forgot to say. When Pray Tell tells Blanca that he's HIV positive, he tells her, quote, "The world wants us dead." And that just hit me so hard because he was so right. Back in the early 80s, when a lot of people didn't understand about AIDS and that it wasn't a gay disease, it wasn't any kind of a disease. It was just something that fucking happened to anybody who was having sex.
Mm-hmm.
And he was right. Even when the hospital workers wouldn't want to touch them or help them or anything. I mean,
Yep.
it was just God. This show is just so brutally realistic with its dialogue and its situations, and it's just really love this show. Absolutely, just
when you in the 80s when you were diagnosed with AIDS or the gay cancer, it honestly felt like you were the new leper. You were you knew you felt that you were going to die. You felt you were going to be shunned by society. You felt that every single person looking at you was looking at you as as a disease, as a sick person that's going to give them. And then remember all of the rumors and all the crazy crap that went around this is, you get it from toilet seats. You get it if they shake your hand, that you can't. People didn't even want to live in apartment buildings with people with HIV and AIDS back in the day. Doctors, freaking infection control doctors would come into a room in full fucking hazmat gear, back in that day. And it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So when they show these scenes, they show like pre-tell and stuff, talking about the fear behind it. That's all this disease was because of how society handled it. They handled it as the fear disease.
Exactly.
Because they wanted us dead.
It just really exposes how human beings treat other human beings when there's not much information on the subject. I mean, it's disgusting. So I'm just really glad that the show actually
being honest.
Yes, that. Now, in this episode, Blanca gets news that her real mother has passed away, her actual birth mother. And we do get a little bit more of Blanca's backstory. She used to be a young boy named Mateo, and her family did not understand her choice to transgender into a woman. Her mother told her family that she died, and so when she goes to the funeral, we meet her sister Carmen, who is a bitch, and her brother should be pushed off of a fucking cliff. I'm sorry, her brother-in-law, Carmen's husband, is a piece of shit who should be pushed off of a cliff onto big sticky poles so he'll be impaled horribly by all of them. Just to add insult to injury. Because Blanca goes home for the funeral. Pray Tell, her family, everybody goes with her to give her support. And when she goes there, her shitty brother-in-law assaults her, hits her because all she wanted was mother's recipes. Yes.
Yep.
They treated her badly, treated her like a leper, like you say, Michael, like a leper. And it was just, I mean, it was disgusting. But the only thing that made me happy was at the end when Carmen came to see Blanca at the end of the episode and she gave her mother's recipes. And she even called her Blanca. Because the whole episode, she called her Mateo. She refused to even acknowledge who he had changed into. And at the end, she calls her Blanca. And then she also tells her that her mother, that Blanca is the best of their mother. And it was just out of nowhere. Here I am, Michael, 5 minutes ago, I am ready to mentally murder the brother-in-law for assaulting Blanca. And hating the sister, Carmen, and then turning around and crying from happiness because of what Carmen did.
Well, I wish we needed one more scene with Carmen, and that's because I've been in this position many times. It's like, okay, this all nice and dandy. You show up at my door, you give me, call me Blanca, and you give me your mother's recipes. What the fuck did you do in front of other people?
Yeah.
What would you do if your brother stepped into the room right now? How would you behave? That would show her true character.
I do think they wrapped it up in a nice little bow.
Yeah.
For the end, because not a lot of people get that kind of happy ending. Even though it really wasn't too happy, it's not like she actually came in and had tea.
Oh yeah, no.
With Blanca. But she at least gave her the recipes and she called her Blanca and that she was the best of their mother. So, I mean, that was at least a nice little bow.
Yes, it's a gesture.
Yeah. So let's see. I wonder. Okay, so yes, this is also in this episode is where Elektra has her surgery. I'm so happy for her. She wanted the surgery so much and she finally gets it. And I am so happy for her. So she gets the surgery and Blanca is the only one who shows up to the hospital to see her. And it was really cute when Blanca walks in, Elektra says, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Elektra, we know. Nobody would come see you. But it was really great. They have this bonding moment where Blanca tells her that she's only had two mothers in her life, her real mother and Elektra, and she's lost her other mother and she wants to get her relationship back with Elektra. And it was a really great little moment with them too. And I love how they left that. Elektra tries to apologize to her children, which it goes off well in this episode, but as we'll find out next episode, it won't last.
Nope.
Yeah. So let's move on to episode 6, which is Love is the Message. Oh, I cannot say
Lectures episode.
Billy Porter is the best. I love Billy Porter.
This was Emmy worthy, this episode for him.
Absolutely. So Love is the Message, guys. Starts out basically Patty and Angel, they're confronting each other. Patty has come to see Angel. And remember, Patty is Stan's wife. And they kind of have this discussion about...
It's so uncomfortable.
Right. I mean, but Angel, to her credit, she was honest.
Oh,
she lied about anything.
Stood her ground.
Yeah. And she also stood her ground about who she is as a person. And I loved that she
didn't hide it.
Do something. Yeah, to Patty.
Exactly. And she challenges Patty. I like how she challenges Patty to make Patty think about certain things. It was really strong of Angel. Even though you could see behind Angel's eyes the fear and the the uncomfortableness of it, she kept going. She stood her ground. She kept being honest. It was a powerful scene.
Absolutely, extremely powerful with these two. And I think this is the last time that this is the only and the last time these two are on screen together in this season.
Yes.
So poor Patty though is pretty stunned, and we do find out in this episode that Patty goes to her doctor, gets an AIDS test, and she gets Stan to meet her at the psychiatrist's office, where she confronts him there with the psychiatrist. Like, should we be together? Do you think that was even, I mean, I give her kudos for doing it with the psychiatrist, but I don't think that she should have did that with the psychiatrist.
No. Well, see, again, people not understanding sexuality and understanding what's really going on in Stan's head is just utter confusion. And to be... lambusted, in front of, a psychiatrist and your wife, and you and your wife haven't even discussed any of this matters. He hasn't even come to discussion with himself on these matters.
Right.
Yeah, it was wrong. But to give her credit, she didn't understand any of this either. So in order for her, I mean, the children are involved. So in order for her to move on or move forward with some decision-making stuff, she had to get her own thoughts in order. And her way was with a psychiatrist. So it's just confusing for everybody. It's hard for everybody. But in my eyes, should she have done it? No. But that was for just the whole picture, not just her beliefs. It is confusing. It took balls to do that, though.
Yeah.
Damn. Go ahead, Patty.
Well, now this episode is called Love is the Message. And the reason why is because our Pray Tell goes through some really bad emotional shit this episode, guys. He visits his man at the hospital, and he is so sick that he is literally at the end of his life. And Pray Tell is so upset. I mean, he gets really drunk, plays Love is the Message continually at the ball, and he goes off on our family, the House of Evangelista.
Oh,
I mean, he really does give it to everybody. I mean, but he does apologize, and he tells Blanca why he was so upset. And he asks Blanca for help in creating a cabaret night at the hospital for the AIDS patients, something to kind of give them, you know, some hope, something, some fun, you know, just something instead of just being in a hospital bed all day, scared about dying. So at first she says no because she's got a date. Some slick ass guy named Darius has invited Blanca out on a date and she's going for it. And I remember I was so nervous for her about this. So we'll find out what happens with that later. But
oh god, that guy.
She tells Pray Tell that she can't go. And then when she goes shopping with Lulu for a dress for her date that night, poor Blanca finds out that every single person has banged Darius. Everybody has. I feel so bad for her. But I mean, at least she could have had some experience, you know? I mean, who?
Well, that's what the girls told her. She's like, he's fun. Go have fun with him. He's not what you thought in your mind, but go have some fun. But she doesn't.
I don't blame her though. Kind of sometimes you want to have fun, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want some serious things.
Well, especially if you were walking into that relationship, date, whatever, with one preconceived, you know, idea. I mean, she was on an idea of, oh, I'm going to get to know somebody. I'm going to go on a little, you know, cutesy little date. This guy's a total player. I wouldn't have done it either. I mean, it's just, you're starting out on the wrong foot.
Absolutely. So poor Blanca, she will confront Darius about this later and let him know that she wants to be romanced and to fall in love, and obviously kicks Darius's ass to the curb.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye, Felicia. And Pray Tell has this incredible cabaret night for the patients, and I lost it when Blanca showed up and together they sang for the patients. I mean, this bitch right here was all kinds of choked up. I'm not gonna lie. Now at that point I did not know that was her real voice. I did not know that MJ Rodriguez was also a singer. I knew Billy Porter is, but I thought maybe they had dubbed in her voice. They didn't. That was definitely Billy Porter and MJ Rodriguez singing in this episode. I have to say this has to be the best episode of all.
Yeah, I agree.
Now
it has the best moments in it.
Oh God, that's right. After the session though, oh my God. Okay. Costas, and that's Pray Tell's boyfriend. Costas and Pray Tell have a little moment together afterwards, and Costas tells Pray Tell that he wants him to move on after he dies and to love again. And it was such a hard scene, guys, to watch without crying because, you know, Costas knows that Pray Tell has HIV. He even tells him, I know you have it. Yeah, I see the way you look at me. I see the way you look at other people. I know you've got it. And that he wants him to promise. He wants Pray Tell to promise that he's not going to waste the rest of his time that he has left. And Pray Tell promises him. And then right after he leaves, Costas dies. Oh, my God. That was some hard shit. And I was only an observer. I could not imagine anybody going through this in real life, you know? I mean, that was some hard stuff. This had to be the best episode out of all of the episodes of season 1.
Yeah. Can we go back to the dinner scene for a second? Because what I find absolutely fascinating about that dinner scene when Pray Tell just loses his shit is, if you watch it again on a rewatch, you actually watch it several different times and focus on each individual character differently. Their reactions are so different to their personalities and level. It's like, you know, Poppy's reaction is all comical. You know, he's all taking out, oh, this is drama. You know, get the popcorn and watch. You know, whereas Blanca, all the way on the other respect, Blanca is just like devastated, not at what he's doing, but what his life is, you know, what he's going through, and she can't help him. So it's like all of these different character moments are happening silently within that one little dinner scene. It's so incredibly great.
Exactly. I didn't even think about it that way, Michael. I didn't even think about everything else of what everybody else was also going through in that dinner scene as well, and how they had all reacted to it based upon who they are and what they were going through also as that time. That's,
Yep.
That was such a great scene too. Like I said, this episode 6 was the best out of everyone. So let's see. So let's see. This is also the episode where Stan and Vanderblow fight, and Vanderblow beats the crap out of Stan.
Yep.
He
And
can't
then
keep his hands up. He's
nobody
not a boxer.
and nobody gets fired because that's just the way they're supposed to act.
Man, they can fight in the Trump
Exactly.
Tower. It's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Vanderblow did beat the crap out of Stan because he can't keep his hands up. I mean, it was actually pretty laughable.
Yeah.
So ironically, yeah, nobody got fired, but it does show of how Stan is losing his work, his home life, and now he's lost Angel. I mean, everything is just falling apart on this guy.
Good.
I know, right? Now, at the end of the episode, Angel goes back to the peep show, and that is when the window opens up, and Stan is on the other side, and he's just beaten up and bloodied, and Angel is like, oh, you know, her heart, her soul just aches for this guy that she really cares about.
And this is where I hated him the most. This is where I wanted to punch him in the face.
You know?
Exactly. He has lost everything. And what's the first place he goes running to is to the easiest person that will open their arms to him for his own selfish reason.
Absolutely.
Not for hers. It had nothing to do with Angel. Oh, it makes me so mad. God, I hate this guy.
I don't see Stan in any of the previews for season 2, so I don't think he is going to be in season 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine. If Evan's taken off American Horror Story, I imagine he's taken off of everything.
Yeah, hopefully. So episode 7, guys, is Pink Slip. This was written by Stephen Kennels and R. Lady J, and it was directed by Tina Mabry. And I'm sorry, I know some of the episodes I haven't been saying what is what, but okay. This episode was funny as fuck because Miss Candy, woo, okay,
lose her damn mind.
Miss Candy been losing her damn mind here, guys. Miss Candy comes all up on the fucking ball. Hold on, is it this episode? I think it's this episode. Yeah, Lulu and Candy. Yeah,
because next was.
Yeah, they decide to co-mother a house together. And Lulu comes up with the name House of Ferocity. So it's going to be Lulu and Candy, the 2 other guys who were in the House of Abundance, and Aphrodite. Yeah. So they are going to start their own house. Now, Miss Candy gets what's handed to her next episode, and I cannot wait for that. I can't wait to go over that. All right, so Elektra reveals her surgery to her man, and he done lost his damn mind. He literally flips because Elektra had the surgery and kicks her out of his penthouse.
It's the one promise. That was the one deal breaker.
Yeah,
which basically just shows that everything this rich man did for her was for his own little sexual desires, his own sexual. That was the only thing that was important to him.
Exactly, not her, not anything else. It was him. And of course, when she uses her body to make herself happy, and it pisses him off, he cuts her off. I mean, literally, he kicks her out of the apartment and tells her, you know, he's not financially supporting her anymore. And then Elektra's thinking this whole time that he's going to change his mind.
Yeah, he's going to love
her. And he doesn't. He picks another girl, another transgendered woman, probably who hasn't done the surgery. So when Elektra goes to get some of her things, there's another woman going up to the apartment. I mean, he replaced her so damn fast, and
it's all about that sexual kink. He's got to have that fulfilled. But what I love about this is the start of. We didn't know as an audience, or Elektra didn't even know for herself. This was the birth of Elektra right here. This is, the surgery. She's thinking in her mind it has devastated her life, and it's actually given her a new life. It showed her that being this kept woman, being this cartoony, over the top of the life bitch, that's not who Elektra is. And you're gonna have a journey. You're gonna have a hard time finding out who it is, but you'll come out of it on the end, finding out who she is, and that's why it's really cool the way it goes down.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on, Elektra. At the house of Evangelista, Blanca is interrogating everybody because she's found Poppy's pager, and she's pretty positive now that he is dealing drugs. And when she questions everybody lies to her except Ricky, who is very grateful to Blanca for everything that she's done for him, how she brought him into the house and gave him a home and food and, the balls and everything. So he spills the beans. And I want to know from you, Michael, would you have spilled the beans to Blanca? Would you have told her about it?
If I was Ricky in Ricky's situation with Ricky's relationship with Poppy, yes. If I was Damon and Damon's relationship with Poppy, no. So it depends on the relationship with Poppy more than it does with Blanca, I think. But Blanca's
I
how
agree
she
completely.
sucks
Yes,
out
I
how she
would have
sucks out
the beans
respect.
exactly.
But Blanca's, well, when she sucks out the respect to these people, some people like Ricky fall more into line of that, because I don't think there was any real ill will behind it. I think Ricky was really doing it for her respect and for his fear of how she would look at him or how she would treat him, if he lied to her. Whereas you look at Damon and you look at Angel, they're like,
definitely sympathize with somebody.
huh?
What did you say, darling?
Oh no, I was saying that if you look at it through Damon or Angel's eyes, they're viewing the whole thing about our camaraderie with our brother. We got to protect each other. We got to protect, no matter what's going on. So it's very different. But I don't think anybody was wrong in this situation. Poppy was doing something that was going to be a detriment to himself and to everybody else around him. And I don't think Blanca was doing any better than any of these parents by, kicking his ass to the curb. And we'll see when she has that discussion with Helena later, she could kind of justifies that situation. And Blanca comes to realize, oh my God, I'm not going to be one of those people, and turns around. But at the same time, it's everything is about protecting the family for her.
Yes. Absolutely. And yes, Noah Hernandez, we love Pose over here, baby. So Poppy is kicked out after Ricky tells her that he is dealing, and Poppy says he's got nowhere to go, which he will end up at the House of Ferocity. Lulu and Candy will take him in, though they treat him like a piece of shit. They treat him like a slave. So trust me, guys, he ain't going to be in that house for much long. So let's see. We got Lulu and Candy. And Candy, I noted on here, reminds me of the Queen of Ratchet. Has anybody ever watched the Queen of Ratchet on Facebook? They take Disney movies and flip them if they were Ratchet. If anybody watches those, that's what
I have to watch it.
Reminds me of. You should check out on Facebook the Queen of Ratchet. Yeah. It is hilarious.
This is the episode where it took Candy and Lulu in a direction I didn't want them to go, because instead of giving them more depth to their characters, they made them more one-dimensional. Made them more the little villainous little roles. I didn't kind of like that.
And I wanted some depth to Candy and Lulu. I really love Lulu, especially with that 227 line. Any girl who watches 227, I'm going to be friends with.
Well, yeah. Well, both of them have got backstories that are bound to be deep, but they just didn't utilize them.
I hope they do in season 2, because they definitely looks like they're in the front of season 2. So absolutely. Yeah. Now Damon and Angel are upset with Ricky for telling Blanca about Poppy, and this is what Michael says. Blanca kind of blames herself for the decision that she made to kick Poppy out. She goes to see Helena and get some mother advice from her, and Helena's like, "I'm not a mom, but in your situation, any normal person would have done what you did. You have to protect your children. You have to protect your house."
See, that was interesting. That was a very interesting moment that the writers took there too, is that Helena's mind immediately goes to, I'm not a mother. I don't have children. Yeah. Blanca's mind is, you are a mother. You take care of children every day. So it's the difference of what we think in our different cultures of the value of mother. Blanca, she doesn't have to be a birth mother to do this. And she looks at all these other, proud, strong women as mothers if they're just caring for children. But a straight, regular acting woman who's regular, in everyday society, immediately goes to the birth of children. No, I don't have any children. So it was a cool moment. But they respect each other so much.
Absolutely. And I completely agree with what you're saying about Helena too. Just because she doesn't have kids, she's a teacher. She has students. She is a mother to them. She is a mother. And cultural defines motherhood in different ways, and I just love how this show is defining it. I love it. And I got a lot too in this episode. We get a lot of Jodie Watley, who was big in the 80s.
Yes.
And Jodie was in this episode.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the soundtrack of this season. The soundtrack is amazing.
It is. I love it so much. It was so
That's why I can't wait for 1984. Oh my God, the soundtrack to that is going to be brilliant.
So Angel takes Stan to a ball in this episode too. At the end, he tells her that he wants to know more about her world and her life, and she takes him to a ball. And there's a bitch on the ball that looks exactly like Twisty the Clown. It was really a good 80s flashback right there. I had to say that. But Stan did not look comfortable at all. He didn't look like he was trying to kind of get into Angel's life at all. He didn't even stay to see her walk. And then after they were leaving, he tells Angel that he'll never fit in her life or even in a place like they were just at. And that he wants one moment where he feels truly real. So in a way, you do have to definitely sympathize with his struggle. But again, as you can see, Michael and I don't have very much for somebody who plays with other people's emotions.
Exactly. It's like, I get him. I totally understand him. I don't like any of it, but it's like you wanted that one real moment. You wanted to peer into the world that you have something in your mind of looking at, but you're using her to do it. And you're taking away her life moments and her special things and her family and her, success and all that just for your selfish little need to look at the world. I just can't stand it.
Absolutely. Well, and in this episode too this is when the piece of shit Stan, afterwards, he takes everything out of the apartment and Angel is back on the streets pimping herself.
Just leaves her just homeless with a note.
I don't even think he left her a note.
I think she read a note with her luggage. But that's just, he's too chicken shit to even face anything. I was like, but he's going to rip it all out from her again.
Exactly. And he is a real dick. And as far as I know, that really was the last that we saw of Stan. And in this episode too, this is where our Elektra is struggling to pay the bills. She's sleeping on a park bench in New York's Central Park. And I just wanted to reach in the screen and pick her up and just put her right there in my room and just be like, don't worry, honey, you can hang here with me. We'll get you a job. We'll take care of you.
The vulnerability she was having, just the scaredness and the vulnerability, the puppy dog eyes is just like,
I know. No Tell Hotel, so glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, D King. And this is when Elektra is standing. She's working in the peep show and the thing rises and Blanca is standing there on the other side of the mirror. That was so good. She was there to rescue her. I love that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, guys. Yeah, absolutely. This episode was so great. It was really good. It was not as great as episode 6, but still it was a really good episode. So we can talk about episode 8, the final one. And this was written by Ryan, Brad, and Steven, and it was directed by Gwyneth Horder Payton. Now,
chills.
I know.
See, this is I even wrote this down. This is very interesting for me. You could look at this season 2 ways, and how the writers could have handled this is the way 7 ends. You could have ended the season right there, because Blanca shows up to rescue Elektra. Stan drives away, and Angel's left alone. You could have left it very cliffhanger-ish, almost very 80s-ish. To, oh my God, what's going to happen to all these people? But then what they give us in 8 is like, okay, I love this show. We don't have to have any other moments, because this moment is just absolutely so freaking amazing. I have not seen anything that has moved me that much on TV. It's freaking incredible.
I hear you. I know, and I'm still over here. My nose is still running because I'm still crying over some of this stuff. And we're just reviewing it.
I know.
So, guys, this is where Blanca takes Elektra back to the house of Evangelista. She's going to bring her to live there, and Ricky and Damon move out of their room, and Elektra is, grateful, sort of, and she thanks everyone and orders them around. I love that. This is also when Blanca takes Miss Elektra to look for a job. Elektra's basically driving everybody crazy. And
she tricks Elektra.
Yeah.
Elektra thinks she's going to lunch.
Yeah, she's just driving everybody crazy. And so Blanca takes her to get a job, which she does get. And we'll talk about that more in a moment. But Pray Tell informs Blanca about the House of Ferocity and how they're coming up pretty quickly. There's also a bartender there named Keenan who's given Pray Tell the eye. So Blanca does solid and hooks him up with a date. And I gotta say, the scene where Blanca takes Elektra out to apply for the job as the hostess, I love their blooming friendship. That was just such a great scene about how Elektra asked for the application. She turned around to Blanca and she was like, yes. And Blanca was like, you know, she's like, you know, I'm all polite now. Their friendship was just so, yeah, I love it.
Organic.
I hope it's still going strong this season. So yeah. What did you say, Michael? I'm sorry, darling.
Their friendship and the relationship is so organic, based off of everything.
Yes.
You know, Elektra saved her in the beginning, but she saved her for selfish reasons. Whereas Blanca learned to love and respect her regardless of what happens. And then all of a sudden, Blanca's there to save her, and now Elektra is learning to love, and it's brilliant.
It is so brilliant. I know, and like I said, I love Elektra's character arc with this whole season. She is the one who's gone through, in my opinion, the most physical and mental change out of everybody, other than Pray Tell.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
I think she's gone through more than Pray Tell. Pray Tell's gone through loss, whereas she's gone through a identity change.
I'm sorry, Michael. Hang on one second. I'm sorry, Blake. We're just still talking about Pose. You're gonna. Okay. Thank you, Blake. Okay. So Ricky and Damon audition for a music video, and they both make it. And at the dinner where Elektra's driving everyone crazy, that's where Damon and Ricky say that, you know, they would make a music video and go on tour. But this is when Blanca says, hey, what about your second semester? Helena tells Blanca that Damon's scholarship was approved for a second year. So Damon can go back to school for a second year instead of doing the music video and stuff with Ricky. And at first he says, well, I want to do the music video. I think I'm going to leave school. But at the end of the episode, he does tell Blanca that he is going to take his scholarship and Ricky's going to go do the music video instead of him. And I thought that was really great.
Which I find, I found that moment really, I don't know why the moment bothered me so much, because I felt it was unrealistic for their established relationship. But maybe it's not. You know, we'll have to see how it plays out. But I was like, it wasn't Damon. It was Ricky. I thought, is Ricky really going to go on this tour without Damon? That because Ricky has been doing everything, you know, on Damon's wish and on, you know, for Damon, and the fact that they would leave and move on with their relationship because of a music video or a tour, I don't know. It felt weird. So we'll see what happens. Is Damon in the?
He is. He is. He's part of
Ricky.
Ricky is. Yes, I'm sorry. Ricky and Damon both.
Okay.
What's up, Glenn Murphy? It's great to have you. Now, Pray Tell goes on this date, and I am so excited. Keenan is such a great guy. Oh, you don't like him?
I love him. I love him. Oh my God.
Keenan is a sculptor, and he tends bar during the day. The date is going very well, and he's trying to get affectionate with Pray Tell, and that's when Pray Tell tells him, look, I have to tell you this now. I'm HIV positive. We can end the date right now if you want to. And he tells him, I don't want to end the date. I've been with somebody before who's HIV positive. I know the risks. We'll be careful. Finally, Pray Tell gets some luck. Oh my God. I wish I'd get that kind of luck that, you know, Pray Tell gets with Keenan. I mean, I got that obviously with Husband Supreme, but with my luck with the poisoning and everything, I just kind of wish I could get some luck right now.
I know.
But they did have a very sweet kiss, and it was a great moment. And it was even better that Elektra was in the background because she was the hostess at the restaurant that they went to. And she was fucking going off on some customers and cutting them down to size.
Well, see, it's funny because, you know, both of them, Keenan and Pray Tell, of course, know Elektra. So when they hear her voice in the background, just going off the they just start laughing. Just like, you go, Elektra.
No, Angel is still heartbroken over losing Stan, and he does kind of show up expecting maybe she would kind of take him back, but she doesn't. She's like, look, Stan, you do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And, you know, she leaves them basically. And Angel and Blanca have this great moment where Blanca tells Angel that she is HIV positive and that she needs her to take over the family if something happens to her.
Possibly my favorite scene in the show.
Yes.
Is this scene right here.
And Angel, of course, tells Blanca that she's got her back. And it's just, oh my God, it was so good. It was just so good.
Just that soft, I got you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now, at the ball, the House of Ferocity hasn't shown up until they do. I have it right here in my notes. And Miss Candy and Miss Lulu try to win the ball, of course, but Miss Electra just smacks them both in their place. She even makes it, Electra talks with Candy and Lulu and basically with her words, bitch slaps them back into physically like 1974. I mean, she bitch slaps them so badly that she takes little Poppy with her. I mean, why can't I be Electra, Michael? Why can't I be that with my works? Poppy reunites with Blanca in this episode. It was really great. And Blanca challenges the House of Ferocity, and they accept the challenge. And Angel rocks the ball. Aphrodite goes against Electra, and then it's Blanca against Lulu, who was so fucking fierce. I mean, Lulu did really great.
Yeah.
But it was the battle of the year, and the House of Evangelista won. And Candy had to kiss Blanca. It was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Damon tells Blanca that he took the scholarship. Ricky's going on tour. Electra and Aphrodite win Diva of the Year. Candy refuses to leave without winning a category. And once again, tries to get in a category that is not belonging to her. And Pray Tell has to put her in her place.
Yeah, it's good too.
I mean, I shit you guys not. Pray Tell said, and I quote, quiet down, let daddy handle this.
Yep.
I felt so bad for Candy, who was literally bitch slapped by Pray Tell's words.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, he's getting ready to read the house down. You better leave.
I'm so glad I was not on the other end of Pray Tell's bitch slap. That's all I have to say. So surprise, surprise, Mother of the Year award is up after this now. And then it goes to our girl, Blanca Evangelista, with a unanimous vote. And the season ends with the entire house eating at the cafe for bad bitches. And that closes.
It's Pray Tell's speech right there when he breaks up, because he's talking about, you know, who the nominee is and why she's run. He says, because this woman has changed people's life, and he goes, I know this to be true because she's changed mine, or something like that. And he cracks his voice, cracks. Oh, it's done. Oh God, it's power. It's so good.
Absolutely. I cannot wait for the season. So speaking of that, guys, let's take a little peek at the Pose Season 2 trailer. I am going to copy the link very quickly, and I'm going to put it in the chat. It's on my Twitter feed, so that way if you guys want to actually go watch it.
Yeah, I have to.
After you are done here without having an interruption, you can definitely go do that. Let me go on ahead now, and I shall screen share. Come on, screen share. There we go. Share. Here we go. Okay. Pose FX on Twitter. All right. Come on. Play. What? You about to go Main Street. Wait, no, don't stop. Hang on, it's catching up. I'm sorry, I was buffering. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here is season 2 preview.
Ballroom is about to be more popular than City of
See, there's Ricky and Damon.
You about to go put away your glass slippers, Transarella. It ain't never gonna happen. All right, it's all happening for it.
Sorry, stupid buffering.
Has hit #1 on the charts, and the word is ballroom is in.
They got a new ballroom.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
What are you doing out here? You said you wasn't going to walk the piers no more. There are more options out there.
Like what?
I got a plan. Get in.
Oh, you can vote. Like, yeah, I like the new song. I like that.
Y'all I need to trust this mother's intuition.
Blanca made me audition for the Fresh Faces modeling competition.
Y'all are whistling past the graveyard.
Really?
Your T cells have fallen below 200.
Oh shit!
Diagnosis of
I
being
know.
HIV positive to having AIDS.
We are dying, and it's time that we fight.
I'm not posing for a mugshot.
Well, it's gonna be a big AIDS awareness season.
Yes.
Take that off.
I'm tired of your big plans and your stupid dreams. Why don't you just focus on yourself for once?
I'm scared.
To die or to live.
Crazy thing is, it's not my life I'm seeing right now. It's my kids.
Close. Season premiere June 11th on FX.
Oh my God. Tell me that
God.
it did not give you chills.
It did. It did for real.
Oh
She
my
made it out
God.
of this season.
Oh my God. that-
I don't think they'd take her out of the season, would they?
Would they what?
Would they kill Blanca off?
They better not. Don't say
God.
it. Don't think
I
it.
know, I don't
Don't
want to
say
put
it.
that
Don't speak.
It seems like
Don't-
that's
don't
what they're gearing up
anything.
to. Oh
Oh God.
They're-
I'm seriously gonna be pissed
I
as
know.
fuck.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's gonna be,
So,
this is gonna be a big
I-
AIDS.
Yeah, that was mine and Michael's review for season 1. Glenn Murphy says, excuse me, shout out to Jiggly Caliente, who goes by the name
Jiggly.
Bianca Castro when she's acting. Jiggly is I'm sorry?
What name does Jiggly go by?
Jiggly Caliente goes by the name Bianca Castro when she's acting. Jiggly is a trans drag queen who competed on season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race. She plays
Yes.
Veronica in the House of Veracity. Oh! I did not know that, Glenn. Thank you so much for telling
Sweet.
us that.
Love Jiggly, love Jiggly.
So, guys, that is our wrap up of season 1. Michael, what do you want to say to the people out there who are watching this and who are going to give this show a try? What are your impressions? And
For a show like this that means so much to so many people for what it represents and for the importance that it is, if you're going into this unknowing about the community, unknowing about the history, unknowing about these people's struggles, all I say is go in with an open mind, go in with humanity, and look at these people openly, and you may learn something.
Amen. That's truth. I mean, I have to say, guys, this has got to be this show is better than American Horror Story.
Yes, it is.
Michael
It's more
and I
important.
Yes, way more important. And just the coffins with the numbers that were spray painted on the top, just that. I mean, my God, I just wanted to break at that.
Mhm.
I just cannot wait for season 2 and what it's going to address. So, guys, Michael and I will be back tomorrow night for the Pose season 2, episode 1 after show.
Yes.
We'll be taking your questions live. We will be discussing the episode. And yeah, we cannot wait for it. So the link has already been set up. Just go to my channel and it's already there for live streaming events. I'll obviously be putting the link up everywhere on our social media. Michael and I are co-hosting. So I'm so excited to talk about this show with my soul brother. I'm so
I know. I will be up at midnight and see what happens on FX. God is a nightmare, but we'll see what happens. If it does come on, I'll post stuff out.
Thank you. That way I'll watch it then as soon as I get up. Because if I can watch it before it airs tomorrow night, I would love that. Again, because I would like to see it a couple of times and suck in all of its awesomeness before the live streams.
What time is the air date? What
It
time does
is
it come on?
at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I believe. There's a Pose season 2 watch party here in Austin tomorrow. And I really want to go, but I just don't think I usually don't feel well after 5 o'clock. I don't think I'd make it. It starts at 7, so because I think the show starts at 8.
Oh, one
So
of the
8
bars there.
p.m. Central Standard Time, yeah.
Mm.
In like New York, Florida, it's 10 p.m.
Yeah.
That Pacific or Eastern. So yeah.
It'd probably be 9 for us then, because we
No,
you
they're
guys
2 hours
start-
ahead of us. Florida
I
and
know,
New
I know,
York
but
are
it
2 hours
usually-
ahead of us.
But it was like primetime TV.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
we get primetime TV late.
Okay.
But with all these streaming services now, you get it whenever it streams, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, we'll definitely be streaming it. Yeah. I mean, we'll be doing it right after we get the episode 2 previews. Michael and I will start streaming, guys. So yeah.
Yes.
We cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. So don't forget to click the subscribe and the notification. I know. Don't forget to click the subscribe and the notification bell button, guys, so you guys will be notified when we go live. And don't forget to, Michael is going to let us know if it's on FX Plus, the app, tonight.
And if you are watching Pose for the first time in your life and you're new to all of this, if you're watching it on Netflix, Netflix will remind you that there is a movie called Paris is Burning, which is a real life documentary of this period. So it is one of the best documentaries in the movie. We'll do a whole different episode on that movie alone. That movie changed my life. But if you want to learn about from the real people, from the real voices, from the real houses, watch Paris is Burning.
Paris is Burning. I love that movie. I think I'm just going to watch it tonight just to watch it and get ready for Pose.
So
Yeah, Pose season 1 and Paris is Burning is on Netflix right now, guys. So also, if anybody is in the Pose Facebook groups, I'm part of a couple on Facebook. So if you see me in there, just stop in and say hi and we can chit chat in the comments. So Michael, thank you so much. Everybody, you want to follow Michael. His details are in the description if you want to follow him on social media. And again, we will be back tomorrow night to discuss episode 1 of season 2 of Pose.
Yes.
So fucking cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We love you all, and we will see you all tomorrow night. Bye, everybody.